Because you got to use these markers. If you don't use it, you lose it. Because these tips, especially with this chrome shit, the chrome, as you can see, it's still liquidy, but the nib and the tip of it, like I can still scavenge the chrome out of it to dip and use, but or change the nib entirely. So that's the sad thing. It really takes a lot of maintenance when it comes to that if you're not using them a lot. So take that in consideration, kids, when you're doing your artwork. This color, this, it's so weird how these, you know, your visual, you know, everything look different visually when you, work in different lights. Boy, this nib needs a damn cleansing. I mean, there ain't much in this marker to begin with to keep it wet, but lordy, it is like it. Sometimes you gotta blow your tips out. Of course, you can buy new nibs for those markers and all, or swap them out and things like that, so it works out. There we go. Nice. Juicy lemon ginger tea. I've not even busted this one open. Well, I busted it open. I've not used it. That's vanilla, chamomile vanilla. I wonder what this is gonna taste like. And it says, and honey. So maybe it's got a general sweetness to it? What's in it? Ingredients. Oh no, it's got licorice in it. I hope it tastes good. We'll drink it still, may not buy it again. Sometimes when I see licorice, I always get kind of like scared because licorice tastes like shit. But if licorice is blended well with something else, it works good. If it's not, you'll know it, and it'll taste like fucking licorice. I ate licorice not long ago. My grandmother, every fall and stuff like that, my aunt and I'll get a big old, you know, hair in their ass to go see the leaves in Tennessee in the mountains. They've been to Tennessee 1,000 times. I've been to Tennessee 1,000 times, and I've not been in so many years. They're like, oh, I gotta see a bear and a fucking deer. There's deer here. I gotta see a bear. But soon enough, there'll be bear here. But, you know, they go to Tennessee to see the leaves change, and they don't even stay at night. They just drive around, and then they come back. Anyway, they go to this one service station that also has candies and stuff in it. It's like and they buy like a souvenir box of like saltwater taffy. It's made in the place, whatever. I don't mind because they bring a big bag home and they share it with everybody, and I have a couple pieces now. Anyway, there was a bag she had saved for me, and I had a couple pieces, one of them being licorice, because it's a medley. And it had been a long time since I had a full-blown mouthful of licorice, and it was like, I ate it. I mean, it wasn't like the most unbearable thing I've ever eaten, but licorice just does not, it is one of those tastes, you know. There's many of them. People would argue that Marmite and Vegemite, which I think are great, are too much for some. What is something else that's really fucking, like, dark chocolate, some really like bitter dark chocolate. Some people love it. I like it. I don't like to eat it all the time or anything, but I'm okay with it. Some people hate it. You know, countless other things. I'm trying to think of some right now as I'm doing this, but I'm kind of drawing a blank. But you know, when it comes to licorice, that is really, in my opinion, well, that is a thinned out pink, and we've run in it's about time to just add some more pink juice to that. I wish I had like because I made this color myself, and I could probably put some pink with a little bit of yellow and really run that back into a flesh tone, like a Caucasian flesh tone, I should point out. It could be, because it is real wet right there, and it don't do it any favors on that damn paper. I shouldn't have done that. Let's do that. I literally, this is the fresh, I pulled it out of the dryer today, and I'm already fucking throwing my beefy floppers around getting them dirty again, or getting it, you know, freshly dirty. It's stained forever, but whatever. Beefy Floppers. Yeah, that's a good punk band name. Ladies and gentlemen, Beefy Floppers. I love when you got a jar like this that's so full you don't know if it's blue or it's red because you're like shaking it up and there's a little bit of all. It looks like it's got red in it, I think. You turn up on the bottom, you see the bottom, it's got a putrid slime color. Putrid blood color, I mean, not slime. Slime is normally green. I mean, slime can be whatever color it wants to be. That being said, though, most people think of green when they think of slime. Slime. What was that? They used it in the slang. Slime was a jism. Jism. Maybe using the full-blown Shakespearean name for it. Jism. I wonder where jism's derived from. Surely I've searched that, but Google up the birth of jism. Okay, Google. When was the word jism invented?
According to Wiktionary, originally U.S. English, first attested with the meaning energy in 1842, and with the meaning semen in circa 1888. For semantic development, compare spunk.
Oh, we should compare it to spunk. So jism meant like power or energy, and then, you know, somebody changed it to busting an energy on her. It's probably the slang, and then from there it devolved into ejaculate. Jism. How many jisms of energy does it give? I'm gonna kill a jewel on your face. You would kill a jewel on your face. I mean, you could think of your family jewels, and you're killing a jewel. You're busting a nut on them, so maybe that would work. You gotta reach for it, though. You gotta roll reach for it. It's not worth it. It's not worth the reach when you can just use the vernacular that is present. I mean, everyone knows what jism is, I think. A lot of people didn't know what skeet was because they didn't even talk about they probably I bet you skeet today is censored, but back when the Yin Yang Twins started blowing it out on the radio, everything else was thing, but it was all skeet. It was fine. Like, no one realized what skeeting was. And now, in the year of our Lord 2022, they use it even in the pulpit. And the Lord said, "Ah, skeet." First I was going to do a big mouth, but then it's a person. Now I'm going to do a face. A little cat man. Catman do. Actually, let's use this marker here. I seen someone the other day using something, and I was like fascinated by it until I realized what they were doing, and then I was like, this is too much effort for the, you know, what it is. And it was using chemicals that they were brushing on a shirt, like photo chemicals, like for making screens and shit, it looked like. And they were putting a negative cellophane, or like a plastic print over the top of the shirt and the instrument, and taking it out in the sun and letting it burn into the shirt. And then they would remove it and wash it out, and it would be a positive instead of the negative burned into the shirt as a design. And that was kind of neat, but like, it's too much effort for just something that you could do anywhere else. I mean, I remember I used to have these sheeting of screen printing stuff that you could put a printed out design on it and put it in the sun for the right amount of time, and then you take it in and wash it out, and then you could screen print, like basic screen printing. you wouldn't, I mean, you would probably want to use a frame if you were trying to do it in any regularity. I remember I started up a screen printing gig with a guy. He bought all the shit because he was like, you know, meathead from a place that I had met him at a body shop, and he did body work, but he had plenty of loot and he invested in it, and you know, and I was like, oh shit, we all jumped into it too soon in an area that didn't really, people didn't give a shit to buy screen printed shirts, and it was you know, shitty because I myself didn't. I was working another job and all, trying to work this job. It was really stupid because like the guy was a piece of shit. He still is. You know, not really a super bad piece of shit, but I mean, okay, yeah, he is. I try to give people credit, but like, he wasn't a bad dude or anything, like, but he was bad. He had bad fundamental beliefs and structures like that, and that's, you know, a bummer, because all in all, he, you know, he was a pretty cool, pretty decent, like, I keep trying to give him credit, but it was not. I think back on it just to see what that great of a person. I'm just trying to find niceness in people. I always try my best to do that. It's the best thing you can do, is try to give people the benefit of the doubt, especially when, you know, I come at something, maybe I'm being just biased here, but you try not to be. You never try to be. Shit happens. Life comes at you fast, folks. Before, I should have wiped that off. It's a sketch, Patrick. It's not like your fit. This is not going to hang in the loop. I need to get like a gallery inspiration. Like, I was thinking of doing like a series of paintings based on something, like a general thing, just in case I ever wanted to do, because I could rent a place in space or something somewhere and just throw my shit in there for like a week or two, and, you know, invite people to come in and look, maybe try to make some loot if the time came and I had enough money to, you know, throw around. But that wouldn't be, do a kickstart a gallery opening. I could just rent a hollowed out place for like a fucking month or two. I'm sure that if you talk to like a real estate owner correctly, they would be like, yeah, we'll let you rent this for like, or lease it for like a month or two, and then you go in there and do some art, and then, you know, maybe somebody would you put like the clear donation bin. People could fund the next venture. The next venture could incorporate more artists, you know. I was thinking about things like ways in which I could get the art to the people, because I was complaining the other day about local art, and there's a local scene, you know. If you can call it a scene, it is art, but in its most basic, and just it, you know, like the family friendly, you know, like there's no envelopes being pushed. It's like, oh cool, a barn. You know, or like somebody doing photography. Oh, cool, a picture of a barn. But it's black and white. Things like that. And I mean, those are art and those are things, but like, you know, there's a little bit more artistry, you know, in these things. And like, I don't know, the thing is like the individuals who run this organization funded by the city ultimately fail in their artistic pursuits, because they're not showcasing art in its most powerful, and that's in its raw state of like saying something or someone doing something, like something, you know, like someone expressing themselves truly about something they're passionate about or they believe in or something, you know. You know, there could be nudity or things in it. Like, you know, it's more of this, it's like this family-friendly, PG, you know, hand-holding artwork. And it upsets me because, like, yes, that's art. Let's celebrate that as well. But you have backed yourself in the wall by allowing yourself to, one, be funded primarily by a city, which is a government, which is not going to want you to say anything about the power structure because they're fucking funding it. You know, they're not, you know, it's tough because, you first off, like, you need to be able to go, this is more, more juicy artwork. This is more visceral. You know, there's going to be nudity. Like, there's not, it doesn't have to be nudity, you know what I'm saying? But let there be an opportunity. Like, if I came to them with a lot of my pieces, they would not want to display them. Not because they're not ours, but because they have all these rules and regulations. Which, you know, I could get it not putting it into your fucking office or something like that, but like for the regular populace to see if you're doing this. But like this arts alliance that you're dealing with, here's what you're calling. You're not alliance. There's no alliance. It's only what you deem, you know, worthy. You know, like, or what you think. It's only art if it's this PG, family-friendly, don't say anything about religion, don't say anything about anything else, you know? And that's, you know... And what would say, like, you're probably saying to yourself, Patrick, what the fuck? Like, you don't say a lot about religion in your pieces. You don't. I could. To be fair, saying, like, doing something like with, you know, any, you know, you say it something, if it can't be shown, if you can't hang your art in a church without there being offense, then you're saying something about religion. It's like you're saying something whether you like it or not. Like, you're putting yourself there. Like, if you have art or you have, you know, things like that wouldn't be hung up somewhere people wouldn't want to see, then yeah, you're saying something whether you like it or not. There's a commentary there. Whether I'm intending it to be commentary or not, it happens. So you don't actually have to be doing it. But what if I wanted to? Hell, I have done like a zombie Jesus and stuff before and things, just stupid shit, before, you know. Well, no, I haven't fucked this up. It's a sketch. It is a sketch. I don't know what I'm... have to emphasize this to even myself. Getting messy is what we're doing, because you may find something worth a damn. You may find something in a sketch that you like to bring to the next sketch. This is just having a fun, you know, little experiment, something like that. God damn it, it's hot in here. Like, I got a fucking air conditioner on in the other room. It's 64 degrees. What the hell's going on? I know I'm drinking hot tea, but I got shorts on. I mean, I'll be bitching when it comes wintertime and this place doesn't heat up real well, but I've got jackets then. I can, like, put my, you know, bundle the fuck up, but... The point I was making before I got off on the sidetrack there was... You need to be able to show whatever it is you want, you know? No one's gonna, you know, no one's doing it. No one's doing that. It's all very family friendly, very like a watercolor of a bridge. You know? We don't need that. If anything, you need, because that happens naturally. I'd like to say that is basically what people think, you know, like that's your baby back bitch basic artwork. But it is a gateway into the actual truth of the matter, which is you expressing yourself in the way that you see fit. But, I don't know. I mean, I think you hold yourself back when you try to create something that you think somebody would buy, not what you want. I've noticed that a lot of the things that I didn't think would ever sell, the things that I created for myself, sell. And a lot of the stuff that I create and I think, oh, somebody will buy that, I still own them. It's a fascinating thing. It's like people can almost feel the passion and the truth in the creativity. Like you can taste the honesty. Maybe that's just me being pretentious and blowing it out of the water, putting too much to it. Maybe it's just really cool because when you want to have fun, you want to do what you do better. So in that, you're going to get better quality. If you enjoy what you're doing and you don't feel judged, if that's what you want to do is trees and fucking bowls of fruit, fill your boots. But I would argue that you're not tapping into the part of your mind that really needs to be tapped into when you're being creative. I'm a human just like you. I know what there is to be found, like, inside of the forest of your mind. Like, there's so much, like, imagination and wild, things to explore in your mind. And, like, when you don't feel like someone's going to judge you, you're just expressing yourself. I feel like that's the sweetest. That's when the fruit is the sweetest, if you would. But a lot of people don't. And a lot of people try to force it. You see a lot of people doing like, I'm going to stick eggs up my pussy and fart, paint-covered eggs out of my snatch and watch it fall on the thing, and I'm going to do it in public. And, there's a line here. First off, I think that's a bit, I don't know what the fuck that even means. I mean, maybe you're saying something, maybe like, because I have a good imagination and I have a tenuous grasp on the world and society we live in, I can make something have meaning. Easy. And if that's what you want to do. I'm just merely upset at the lack of prospect and the fact that they are themselves funded by a city and they feel obligated to use the money in a way that is more pleasing to people. Art shouldn't be like artistic creativity, exploration, fascination in the arts. Like every bit of it should be put on a pedestal. It should be looked at because like art, creativity in itself is the stepping stone to get you to point, B in anything. Like if you want to create a computer, from a computer you have to have the creative understanding of all of this and creating like boards and chips and how to lay shit out. Like a house has to be. You have to go to the blueprint, and somebody has to draw it up. They have to plan it out. There's a creativity in that, to where even back in the day when you were designing it, you had to be creative. How many iterations of throwing up log trees and shit did it take before they realized the lean-to and this other shit and this weaving in and out of, making these little fences and shit were the way of doing it. That's creativity. Everything that exists is creative. Everything. You're watching me on the computer be creative because of someone was creative enough to come up with crazy shit like that and think of this like weird stuff, and then money had made it to where it was, widely adopted. Shit, all of it. Creativity is the first step. A desire to express yourself or find something and you use your mind. Art is fucking... I mean, you see art even in being used in the mating techniques of birds and shit, where they adorn nests or they flutter their wings around with the colors and shit like that. So like beauty and stuff like that is important. I don't know, the point I'm trying to make is everyone buy my art. But now the point I was actually trying to make, I was joking there, but the point is, they're not, if you're going to have a council, you're going to have an alliance, there needs to be people at the table who appreciate art of all kinds. Art of political and social nature, things that really tell a story, something that gets you to think as well. I don't know, it feels like they don't do that because it's not, they don't think it's the way to be. And it's kind of, it's lacking. And I don't know if this area could be, like somebody would say that, like, why don't you do it? Why don't you make this area? Why don't you be that person? Why don't you be, you know, the creator of this art, you know, this art culture, you know, make it yourself. And I just don't. I know a lot of people are like, well, you know, I mean, be the change you want to see in the world. I just don't like this area. I don't think, I think there's people here that, you know, are good and deserving of crazy shit like that, but I just don't want to be the person that has to do all that. I'm not good. I mean, I make shit, you know, and talk and do stuff. Like, it's hard for me. Like, I don't do, you know, bureaucratic bullshit, and, you know, like, I just, because they try to make it unnecessarily taxing on someone to do something like that, you know. You gotta do meetings and chat with people, and I just, you know, like, hey, I've got money, let me have this building. Okay, let me get these people in here to do some, you know, sheetrock walls and throw it up, so that way we can remove these sheetrock walls after it's done. Then we hang the fucking paintings on the sheetrock walls, and we put it in a fucking box, and then we talk to some local, you know, talent, which I have some local, you know, people that play bands that are really good, and they could come in and do some, you know, a night or two of it, you know. And then you know, you'd have to have like probably 2 months of rent for that place to lease it. Because you'd want to, first month to create shit, the second month to show the fuck out of it. Like every day of the week, you in the evening, you have a, hell, some during the day probably. People wanted to come by. You know, and you have like it open to the public so people could see it. And you showcase the artwork for the first couple months. And then they would maybe, if people weren't fucking absolute goddamn knuckle-dragging asinine people, they would be able to partake in, you know, throwing in a couple bucks here and there, buying some prints or something like that to keep the drive alive. And then you could let more people, you know, you could jury some more people. Like, I'm sure through the course of the month of showing the one, you could be like interested in showing your work, you know, talk to me or leave your card or, you know, leave your website, shit like that, so I could look at it, and then you could jury some people. And there's a lot of people, that's why they do like these art award shows and shit, or art competitions and contests. It's like $30 fucking to show your art and show as many pieces you want, pay $30 a piece, they don't give a shit. It's because a lot of people are like, you know, coming at it with zero ability. And they're wanting to, you know, you can't waste, like, the jury's time because they got to look at all that shit. And $30 to enter a piece of art kind of, you know, calls the chaff to a certain degree. And if not, at least it pays for their time because they can be like, and throw it in the fucking garbage. You know, that 5 seconds was $30, so that's, you know, no sweat off their nuts. That's how the business works. And it helps to fund the contest. So, I mean, you know, the showing of art and shit like that. So, the point is who knows, right? I just ain't got $30 to be giving, you know, putting my art into shit. And I guess I should, maybe, but there's so many fucking cheese ones. They're not real. Or are real. And they may be, like, run by fuckers and they're giving it to their bud Frank, you know, like, because, you know, I can't keep an eye on all of them. Who knows if they're like prestigious or not? They're actually legitimate. You know, everyone would like an opportunity to showcase their artwork and then win some fucking extra money or get an art grant or some shit. You know, but goddamn, it's ridiculous. I just, there's so many. They put so many rules in the fucking way. There are ways around it, but you got to do all this bullshit. I don't know. Maybe I'm just complaining for the sake of complaining here. I mean, maybe there's... I don't even know what I'm doing here. It's not even I'm not doing a body, I'm just doing colored, like, shapes. Man, no one has talked, and it's been an hour and 15 minutes. What, is Sunday a bad fucking day? Like, I thought no one, you know, usually people come around. A bit depressing, to say the least. Only somebody said something. How are you doing? How are you doing? D-boy. Is it D-Bo or D-boy? How are you doing, by the way? I really do appreciate the love. Oh, you took the... Oh, shit, that is you. Okay. So it is a Ross. We won't say that, though. So we'll just call you Devo now, right? Devo. Devo. But it's good to see you in here. How you been? You been doing all right? Got any big plans for tomorrow's Halloween? There's something going on tonight that I wish I could have been a part of. Like it was like a Halloween drag show thing going on like a town over, but I don't have the money or the car right now. I got to get like $200 to fix my ride. It runs right now, but it's like there's a valve on the transmission. There's like a thing that is your tried and true. It's like it's one of the things that goes out on these Honda Elements. After a while, it gets clogged, or one of the solenoids stop, you know, opening the valve correctly. So to change them, it takes like $200 and a day of my work. I had to tear the fucking car apart. But once it's apart, both of the little solenoids. There's another one for overdrive that hasn't worked in a while, but I may as well change that one out. It was like $40 to buy that one. Good luck. That's no big deal. It's no big deal. I mean, just getting the money's the hard part. Tearing the shitter apart's gonna be a cake, as long as I remember to put it back together. Just take some pictures, right? Make some YouTube videos. Hey guys, I'm using a hammer to beat my car apart. That's why a lot of people do YouTube videos and shit like that. It's because they're just videoing, you know, getting video of the tearing apart process so they can rewatch the tearing apart process for the putting back together process. Some people do it like that. That's one of the many perks of doing that. Was you here for my complaints about the art world? I was getting on it there for a minute. May chop that up and put it on my old YouTube channel. I don't know. It depends. Yeah, YouTube's your best friend. YouTube really is. It shows you how to do it. Like, I learned, like, everything I've done on my Honda is usually, I go on a Pat rant. Yeah, I was just going on a rant about my area, and it's, you know, their desire to be artsy-fartsy and do artsy-related things without actually incorporating any legitimate art. Like, there's art, but it's very, like, PC, like, you know, hand-holding, boo-boo baby shit, you know? Like, there's no, like, juicy, you know, depth or anything of value, you know? In my opinion. You know, opinions are like assholes, right? Everyone's got one, and mine is superior. I thought about I thought about doing some like a movie watching. I was going to watch Teen Wolf, the Michael J. Fox movie, on Amazon Prime, and do like a Prime Video watching. Then I thought to myself, if I don't do it, because some people don't got Prime, right? I do, but a lot of people don't. I was thinking like making like the sub only, like, you know, category or whatever in my Discord, watch it, and so I could show it there. Well, that AI shit really ain't worth a goddamn. Like, it's only gonna be, like, people are gonna use, like, grifty ass shit like that all the time, but, like, it's not valuable. Like, the thing is like, there's still value in humanity and creativity in someone. Like, the AI stuff doesn't, you know. But, like, when it comes to, like, I'm talking about, like, they're painting, like, a tree or a fucking, you know, picture of a barn. You know, or when their photography, there's no, like, photography, and you're like, Patrick, what do you mean? You know, like if I were taking photos, it wouldn't be of barns, you know, and stuff like that. I mean, there would be more. I would do it in a different way. You know, I would try to push. You know, a camera is a tool, just like this marker is a fucking tool. You could give this marker to anyone. Can they make art with it? No. Such as the plight of a camera. With the right lens and everything, you can make a barn picture look like amazing. And yeah, maybe you want to hang it in your living room. I don't. And I'm very particular. You know, I would do all kinds of different artwork. You know, like different things. I mean. But just taking a picture of a tree doth not make you Da Vinci. I hate to be, not to sound like a, you know, like that guy. I'm not gatekeeping artwork, but, like, we can also be like, yeah, that's art. You know? But there's still a spectrum of what type of art it is. Praiseworthy? I do sound like a gatekeeper. No one can be an artist, not no way, not no how. Nah, I'm just fucking around, but yeah, that's, you know, everyone knows, like, you know, you can make $1 doing anything. Fuck, I mean, you know, I can take pictures of people's wedding and shit like that to make $1. I mean, we've all seen that person. Everyone, I think, in the history of humanity has a person on their Facebook that they went to school with who bought a camera and had a lot of money to buy cameras and things, and they're taking photography and they're getting paid for it, but like, when you see their pictures of the artistry of it, you know, it's not captivating. They're just usually just taking pictures of, you know, senior photos and shit like that for people. It's a nice piece. Oh, yeah, this is not, just, don't get ahead of it. Like, this is not art, you know. I know it's fucking hilarious. This is a sketch. I like the way I'm over here slagging off painting when I'm drawing this weird shit. We're slagging off photography. I'm not slagging off photography. Photography is beautiful. I follow a lot of great photographers who do some great things, who have pictures that are very praiseworthy. They need to be hung up, and they're like, wow, to see someone push the area, you know, the creative, you know, using the tool in the right way. God, there's nothing better than seeing someone take a tool and really use it in a way that is praiseworthy. You know, it does feel good. You know, it makes you excited, you know. I mean, this is art, what I'm doing, you know, but not everyone's going to think this is great, but such is the way. I mean, I'm literally talking shit here. Talking Shit with Patrick. That's my podcast. Hey guys, Talking Shit with Patrick is brought to you by my art. Please fucking go buy it. You know, let's put some of it on sale for 2 more days. For Patober, because Patober's almost over. Almost over, kids. Damn, get ready. I'm about to put it on sale right here. Sales and discounts. Run a sale. Pow, 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 pow. Let's do 25% off. From today. Let's get to the 2nd. We do Patober. We'll add the pennies in. Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is I always have my style. Like, I know I see a lot of people who do things, and like the difference in, like, I feel like style is, like, if I wanted to do hyper-realism, I could. Like, I don't lose any sleep thinking that my artwork Like people think, oh, look at this guy, he doesn't know how to paint actual pictures. Because I do. I've done it. I know how to do it. I ain't losing no sleep. You know, but I like to do this the way I do it because it is, I'm impressed by it. I like the way there is simplicity in it. I like the, you know, I like the absolute fuck out of what I do. That's why I continue to do it in the way I do it. It's something that if I saw hanging up, I would look at it. And I would look at it for a long period of time. I would study it. I would look at it. I'd enjoy it. Like, there's a lot to be said. Hold on, there's a lot to be said about an art piece. You know, that's why some of this, a lot of abstract art is really enjoyable to look at. It's just paint spattered up, but it's beautiful and it's fascinating to look at, and that's important. Art doesn't always have to say something. It's nice if it does, as long as it says something to you. If it's intriguing and enjoyable to look at, and you and shit like that, that's at the end of the day, that's all you got to do.